Hey guys, Sam from United People's TV here. As you can see, I'm with Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. It's something a little bit different here. We've got Arsenal coming up at the weekend, as everyone knows. So I thought we'd have a little chat with Robbie ahead of the game about the games we had at the weekend. Obviously, United won 3-0 against Sunderland. They beat Leicester 5-2. It's alright. It's an average result. But, you know, we're going to be doing a few videos this week to collaborate. So we're just going to be talking about the game. How did Arsenal get on at the weekend then?
5-2, mate. Fire! No, I mean, listen,
it's a good result. It is a good result.
I thought it was a fantastic result. I mean, Leicester, as you know, they were unbeaten up until Saturday.
Yeah.
They hadn't lost a game. They've been on fire. Mahrez has been taking every team apart, and I thought we went there. We were so clinical. I mean, went 1-0 down as well.
Yeah.
So we showed a lot of character. But Theo Walcott was devastating in that game, and also return to form of Alexis Sanchez, which is really, really good.
Took his time, didn't he? Took his time, man.
Great timing ahead of the game with you guys. He scores a brilliant hat trick. Giroud scored as well. Happy days. He has all the players that's banging the goals on the score sheet, and looking very ominous ahead of playing you guys.
Well, I wouldn't say ominous. I think both of us are going into this with some confidence. It's just as Sanchez ends his drought, Rooney ends his drought, and he loves scoring against Arsenal.
I could have scored that goal. I
wouldn't leave it. Well, you didn't. That's the point.
You know when they say they say it doesn't matter how it goes in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Let's move on to the next one. Anyway, we're coming in good form, man. Top of the league, if you haven't noticed.
Top of the league, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, top of the league. City slipped up. I think
City slipped up. They did slip up.
City losing this weekend is sort of.
It's opened it up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just made it realise that literally anyone can win the league this year. Chelsea are I think they're 11 points worse off this year than they were last year. They look absolutely down in the dumps, and I'm loving it. I'm sure you are as well. But so that's one common enemy that we can actually agree on. But going into the game of the weekend, I think both sets of fans are going to be confident of a result. I think you've got the home advantage as always, but we do tend to play quite well against Arsenal.
I think what you just said is true. Anybody can win the league this year. I think it's wide open. And I think there's going to be other games between now and the end of the season where, you know, there's surprises, like what you saw with Man City. I think there's going to be more of those to come. Although I do think the traditional top four will kind of hit a rhythm where they'll go on runs. But I'm feeling, you know what, a couple of weeks ago I wasn't feeling very confident because we hadn't made those signings that I felt we should have made. But I must say I've been really impressed with Theo Walcott. He's looking a player at the moment, and I think he's got the pace to trouble any defence in the Premier League. If he plays like how he did on Saturday, I mean, Leicester just basically, they couldn't, I mean, you guys got a better defence than Leicester, but they just could not handle him. And if you've got him creating that sort of problems, and then you've got guys like Alexis and I think the real turning point for us in a way was that game against Tottenham. You know, to go to White Hart Lane, beat them in that derby. I mean,
with a really lucky winner. That is an average winner from Flamini.
Outstanding goal by Flamini. It was kind of like the forgotten man. I don't know. It's just really, football's a funny game because, you know, after losing to Dinamo Zagreb and losing to Chelsea,
we lost to PSV about the same time.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But it's just like all of a sudden, it's just like been a big turnaround, and I think it's a really hard game to call against you guys. I mean, we haven't had a good record against you guys at home, but I think we do have the team to beat you. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great game.
Just as you're coming into good form, as I said, we lost away to PSV, and then we came, and then we systematically beat Liverpool. It was a great game. And then obviously Anthony Martial came on at the end, and that was like the pièce de la résistance. You know, c'est magnifique. Everyone's calling him the new Thierry Henry.
Listen, there's only one Thierry Henry.
I don't give a heck.
Do not call him the new Thierry Henry.
I don't want to call him. Right? He's the first Anthony Martial. That's all we need to know.
He might be the new Makeda. Do you remember him?
No, come on.
Do you remember him? How he started on fire?
Makeda scored in his first two games, and then Makeda.
But Makeda was on fire, wasn't he?
And Aston Villa,
call him the new Makeda. For now, let's call him the new Makeda. It's not the new Thierry Henry.
Henry loves him already. You can see it. He's like,
listen, I have to admit, I've been very impressed by him. He looks quick. He's strong. I think you have bought a good player.
I'm trying not to get. I've tried my hardest to stay grounded and not get on this bandwagon. I leave Makeda out of it, man. He's got a cracking goal against Villa. Right? If Federico, if you're watching this, you know, still love you for that goal. But anyway, right. Martial, I'm trying not to get on the bandwagon, but it's impossible. You just get caught up with it because against Sunderland he didn't even score, right? But it was arguably his best game because we haven't had that number 9 who can really hold the ball up. Like we've had Fellaini's like knock it long to him and then he'll pass it backwards, whereas Martial can actually turn on the ball. And I think if he plays Mertesacker at the weekend and he could run in behind him, that could be danger. Same as Sanchez.
Like Gabriel, he's got pace, Gabriel, and he's a real warrior.
Yeah, he's a bit of a. He should be banned for this game. Let's not even get.
He shouldn't be banned for this game. We sound like Mike Dean now. Listen, I think Gabriel, is more than capable of taking care of him. But I'm
pretty sure Gabriel's going to leave in Martial's pocket.
Martial is a massive threat, but as I said, Theo Walcott as well. When you're talking about pace, there's no player quicker, and he's finishing. He's deadly.
Both teams have got.
And Alexis Sanchez is class.
Yeah, he's scared because he finally scored. It's like Harry Kane and Rooney. They both.
No, but he didn't just finally score. He scored a hat trick.
Right, Sanchez.
All right.
Sanchez is.
Okay.
He's been your best player for the past 18 months. Everyone knows that. Not 18 months, but he's obviously your main threat. But obviously we're going to have a couple of preview videos later in the week where we can actually talk about that. But I just want to focus on how he got on this weekend, and I think United 3-0. You should be beating Sunderland at home anyway.
My son's team right now.
Leave it out. You can only beat who you're playing, right? And we came out in that second half, and I was really worried because United have been in this position a lot in the past, like last year and this season. 1-0 up, going into the second half, and they just take the foot off the gas. We scored within 90 seconds. Who cares how it went in? We scored 2-0 up, and from then on, it was pure United. And then Schweinsteiger came on. I can't wait to see him play at the Emirates. Deutsche Fußballmeister, he has been so impressive. Coquelin, he could literally squash him like a cockroach.
He's going to get cock blocked, mate.
Oh, dearie me, that is awful. But, I'm really, really excited for this game of the weekend. I think, who have you got in the Champions League this week?
We've got Olympiacos.
Home or away?
At home.
That's what I said. You should be winning that. Obviously, we've got Wolfsburg at home. It's a tougher game, that.
Yeah, both got. Wolfsburg haven't really started off the season very well, though. You saw they got smashed the other day by Bayern Munich.
Fourth in the Bundesliga, though.
They got smashed by Bayern the other day, and so neither of us have got on paper the toughest. Not a tough.
We should both
trip to Moscow or something. That's what I was hoping you lot would have.
We've got that next
trip to Moscow. I was hoping that would be before you played us, but listen, the weekend for us was fantastic. I mean, cracking atmosphere, and as I said, there was a lot of people before that game who were saying that that's going to be a real tough game for Arsenal, and they may not even come through it.
Yeah.
Leicester unbeaten, as I said, Mahrez, Vardy, these guys have been tearing up everybody, and we destroyed them 5-2. And I think that was, I don't like to mention it, apart from the Spurs result, I'd say that, and that was a lot of robbery in that, by the way, Spurs fans, and 3 offside goals. But anyway, I had to drop that in.
Not that big.
But I'd say, probably apart from Spurs beating Man City, the most impressive result of the weekend was ours, because we went away from home and we dismantled a team that were unbeaten. So I think that sets us.
It's 3 points.
And the previous game, we beat our local rivals also away from home. So it sets us in good stead. We can go into the game against Manchester United with a lot of confidence. Just like you guys are going into it with a lot of confidence because you're top of the league at the moment.
We are top of the
league. But I really don't think you've had that real. This is your biggest test so far this season, I think, coming to the Emirates. Yes,
it's your biggest
yes,
test
you
too.
played Liverpool, but that was at home.
It's your biggest test too, though.
Yeah, it probably is. It is our biggest test.
Well,
no, Chelsea away, I would have said was a bigger test. Because going away to Chelsea is always a really hard game.
Yeah, because you always
especially when you're up against 12 men and you've only got 9.
Oh, God,
right? But anyway, I won't go into that.
Let's not get into that.
But I think that was the hardest test. But I'd say, your biggest test is against us. The previous hardest game you probably had was Liverpool.
Yeah, comfortably. And that's the game against the
If you play like how I saw you playing against PSV, you'll get absolutely annihilated.
Mate, we didn't even play that bad against PSV.
I do think you will miss Luke Shaw, because I've been very impressed with the way he started.
I don't want to talk about Luke Shaw. It makes me sad. He's done so well this season. He was our best player up until that point, and you never want to see that. Happened to Ramsey, happened to Eduardo. But you don't want to see these injuries happening to players.
I know we're going to get into it later on in the week, but I'm going to be really interested to see how Blind, for instance, copes with the pace and direct running of Sanchez, of Walcott, of Ox if he's on, Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I'm not really sure.
That's what I'm going to be really interested to see. Yeah, that's why I said it's a big test for you guys.
I'm not sure the Blinders had. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't remember Blind. He's faced like big players like Gomez, and he didn't do that well against him away at Swansea. But Blinders surprised everyone. Oh damn, the Panther, man! Keep away with the Panther.
Don't worry, he's done it to us as well.
Yeah, it's an awful celebration. I hate that.
I love the celebration, but he's done it to us.
We can disagree with that. But Blinders, everyone's waiting for him to get found out. Everyone, fans of other teams and the press are waiting for him to get found out, but he just keeps getting better, and he's the reason he's doing so well is because he's the sort of Van Gaal philosophy. He's got two assists in the past 2 weeks of him just coming out of defence and just thinking the ball over the top. That's why Van Gaal likes him.
Listen, I like Blind as well. I think he's a good player, but is he going to have the pace? You say about Mertesacker, Blind as well, not very quick.
It's all about position. It's all about his positional sense. If he can stay in the same, if he can stay.
But he's not a defender though. He's not a centre back.
Yeah, but he's very, very smart.
Will he be able to cope with Theo? Also, Alexis Sanchez as well. These players that run directly at you.
It depends if you can isolate.
That
all depends on who we play at left back, and we don't know who's going to play there because he's going to have to protect Blinded a lot. But anyway, let's wrap this up because we got loads of videos to do later in the week. Let us know how you felt we got on at the weekend. Who's going into this in a better form, United or Arsenal? United top of the league. Arsenal, they won a couple of games. And we'll see you in another video.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Yeah, we will be. See you later, guys.
Hello, hey! Pay attention to the manager.